All right. All right, good to see everybody. Guys are halfway through a great day, so let's go finish it out outside here in about an hour, and then we'll go to Thursday.
We got a peek inside Mike Macdonald's closet. How much action green would we see in there?
It's a great question. Not much. It's a good color, though. It's a great color. Just I'm kind of cubic, so it's not very flattering on me.
What do you know, without even diving into the matchups of this game, the style of play that the Packers play, right, and that division plays, what do you know to expect from the matchups the next couple of weeks, actually?
Well, let's keep it to this week, but, I mean, they play a great brand of football. They play winning football. They've been doing it throughout their entire franchise history, and especially since Matt's got there and doing his thing. So we got a lot of respect for them and how they play. They're a physical football team. They play really hard. They attack the football. They take care of it on offense. They do all the things necessary that you need to do to be a really good football team. And they do those things.
How similar or different is LaFleur from just the Shanahan McVay tree? Like, how much influence do you see in his style of offense?
It's definitely this is his offense. I mean, you feel that this is his vision for his players, and I mean, you have to have a starting point somewhere. You can't no one just invents stuff. Everyone learns from people and kind of comes up through the ranks, and that's what Matt does. But you can definitely tell this is his vision for their offense.
When you look at the
just the uniqueness. I'm sure there's common language and stuff about, but you can tell it around their players and how they build stuff formationally, and but yeah, it's definitely unique to them.
When you look at the number of explosive plays they've been able to create, is that a function of the scheme that they're running or playmakers just making it happen?
Both. I think you see. I'm thinking of the explosive plays when we create. It's like, hey, that was a sweet idea that we put into practice, and then the players make it come to life. So I think it's the same thing with their operation as well.
Green Bay runs more on early downs than any team in the NFL, and you guys have had the best early down defense since week 9 in the NFL. Curious, like a lot of people focus on third down packages. Do you guys have early down packages, and how much time do you spend on early downs? Game planning versus other downs?
Yeah, of course we do. We spend a good amount of time game planning early downs, and I think as a rule of thumb, and it's kind of consistent throughout the league, but normally earlier in the week you're working on early downs. As the week starts to evolve, it's more specific situations like third down and red zone. Today's a big early down day for us, though. Like, we practice red zone every day. We'll practice pressures every day. So there's carryover as well, and then it kind of shifts and moves a little bit throughout the week based off of what you think you need to emphasize. So, but absolutely, yeah. I mean, they do a great job on early downs, and there's not a lot of third downs on tape for them. That speaks to how efficient they are on first and second down.
What did you learn about Ken Walker's calf injury?
He's still day-to-day right now. I wouldn't say a lot more. It got more kind of complicated as the week went on, so that's why we had to do some more tests and stuff. But right now there's positive signs, and so we'll just say day-to-day I think is fair, but it's not long-term.
Are there any more tests that he has to do?
I don't believe so.
When you look at Michael Dickson's net yards here, it's like 12th in the NFL, but if you look at punt by punt, I feel like he's been spectacular.
Yeah.
What can you say about his performance, and how do you really evaluate a punter's impact?
Well, I mean, I think his impact, how you evaluate it, it's combined with how well we protect and cover. But you're looking at like hang times and where the ball lands and operation and things like that. But I mean, and Chris Stoll's done a great job of getting the ball operationally. I think our on the whole, our punt protection has been solid throughout the year. There's things we're chasing on that front, but as with every other phase, you're chasing stuff. But Michael's done a tremendous job. I mean, he's so talented in like what he does and just how the ball comes off his foot, different types of kicks he can kick, and man, he's stress-free dude, man. He's like, he's an interesting guy. He's awesome. So.
Punts that you can remember beyond, I mean, obviously he had maybe one of the best, if not the best game of his career on Sunday, but
Yeah.
are there the punts throughout the season you can remember that really changed the game for you guys?
Well, I think it's more like the preponderance of the games, just tilting field position consistently where, defensively we do our job, we can get the ball back at a pretty good spot for our offense. So that's something that we're going to need to keep improving on, our average field start or field position start and stuff. But I think probably the first thing that comes to mind is just his consistency.
You mentioned the Packers are good at attacking the football. They're among the league leaders in takeaways. Some teams get that because maybe their pass rush is just creating a lot of chaos. But what is it that they do to get the ball away?
Well, I mean, you have to have it. Excuse me. You have to have it. It has to be an emphasis. It has to be something that you're searching, that you're attacking consistently. You got to do it every day. You can tell this is something that they practice and they work on because they're very opportunistic. Those things don't just happen by accident.
Did Jalen Darden, did he kind of just show up on Friday or Saturday, or what did you kind of do?
Yeah, he showed up he got here on Friday. So it's like, hey man, what's up? Please catch the ball.
Yeah. Obviously, that's a position you kind of just plug and play, but him kind of going through that.
Yeah, I mean, Jay did a great job getting him up to speed, but it's not like we're, it is pretty consistent throughout the league. There's some specific situations that, we could have seen Jax come up if we needed him to back there. We felt like he wasn't up to speed on what we were doing, but he was ready to go. So it'd be good to have him here for a full week.
Hey, Mike, sorry. What are the elements of a good red zone defense?
Stop the run. I mean, it's the opposite of like good red zone offenses, run the ball effectively down there, and you got to get them into passing situations. I mean, every yard matters down there. A 3-yard run is a dang good run in the red zone, 3 to 4 yards. So you got to be able to stop that, and that's where it all starts.
A few years ago, it was in vogue to kind of pass a lot on early down when people maybe geared up to stop the run. Now some of the best offenses like Green Bay, like Eagles, like Detroit run a lot on early downs. I'm curious what your point of view is early down offensively.
Well, yeah, I think there's a little bit of a shift going on. More emphasis of running the ball and taking the yards they give you. It's circular, right? I mean, so defensively, you come up with a solution for something, and you kind of start banging on that door. Offenses say, okay, we've had enough of that. We're gonna, do X. You have to, as a defense, you got to recognize they're doing X, so we got to do Y, and then it's just kind of a lot of times it ends up just going in circles, So there's times to counter. There's times to live with it. There's times to maybe make them think that they have what they want, and you can counter. All those things are kind of going on, and I think it's about like how well you're playing the plays you need to stop and things that you're trying to take away. I mean, if you could, yeah, it's great to stop the run, put 1,000 guys in the box, but quickest. I mean, it's really easy to score on on a 70-yard pass too. So we're trying to limit those as well.
As a defensive coach, how much are you thinking about sort of looking ahead of how this is going to evolve? Is that maybe an off-season thought, or are you looking?
No,
at,
you're just paying attention. You're just paying attention. Yeah, it's just something in the back of your mind that you're paying attention to day in, day out, and we generate a lot of great information. Brian Ayers and his crew, so understanding just what makes kind of teams operate, things like that are really helpful.
But Ken, do you need to see him practice this week to clear him to play Sunday?
I would like to see him at some point, but I wouldn't say that would exclude him from playing.
Josh Jacobs, what makes him a tough back to deal with?
Man, he's just a physical runner. He's breaks a ton of tackles. I think his yards after contact numbers are pretty dang high. He's kind of a relentless runner, and then yards after contact are tough, but they do a great job of blocking for him as well. And he just has a really good feel for like what the blocking scheme is, kind of where the soft spot is in the defense, and then he's going to hit it with a full head of steam. So he's a really good back.
What did you, Kenny McIntosh got to play for? What did you see out of him, and kind of how we've seen him evolve this whole year?
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like in practice or in the preseason when he's had his opportunities to run the ball. Unfortunately, I saw it firsthand in the Orange Bowl. That he's a dang good back, and he can make it happen when the ball's in his hands, and he can also, catch it out of the backfield as well. So, glad that he got his opportunity. Now he's got to keep, like, same way with everybody, you got to keep doing it in practice, keep earning all those reps, staying sharp, doing all the things that you need to do to get ready to play. But proud that he got to show what he could do.
What happened with Trey Brown late last week, injury-wise?
His hammy grabbed a little bit, so he's working through that right now.
And with Jordan Love, what stands out to him about him as a quarterback?
Well, first thing is just like his deep area accuracy is really impressive. His arm talent's really good. He's just got a really good control of their system, operates their offense really well. Plays decisive. I think how he extends plays and still gets the ball down the field even when pressured is pretty dang good as well. So it's the first time really being exposed to him on like multiple games and stuff. So he's a really good player.
Did you face Jaxon at Michigan too?
Kenny McIntosh.
No, I'm saying. And also, did you play Jackson's Ohio State team?
Yeah, Jackson's at Ohio State.
What do you remember about seeing him in college?
Everyone said we played him great, and I think he went for like 150.
Why is he so difficult to stop?
Well, I think it starts with just his competitiveness, and the guy's really, just a great competitor, so he's kind of relentless in that matter. But like skill set wise, we've talked about it in the offseason. He's got great hands, and then like the lower body, like power and flexibility of getting in and out of breaks. It's tough to stick with him. And then, like I said earlier, as he's starting to make more catches and stuff, I think he's generating a chemistry with Geno, like late in downs and stuff, finding open windows and zones, and Geno's finding them.
Where else do you see like the instincts show up aside from just the scramble drill situations?
Well, he just knows how to get open. He's just open. He knows how to work away from leverage and cross leverage when he needs to, or when zones, finding kind of the spots where the routes allow you to take those liberties. So, yeah, it's fun to watch him kind of operate over the middle.
That third down catch he had in real time, were you pretty confident he caught that? Or were you like, oh, geez, it was so close to the ground?
Yeah, it was close, so we went fast because we were trying to force the hand on either on the review or not. But upon further review, there was daylight there, but it wasn't much.
You talk about kind of the way Jaxon keeps showing up. What does it say about his football savvy that teams know where he is? They've seen a lot of him on film, and yet he is still putting himself in position to make those big plays.
Well, he's doing a great job. And the other, team, we got a guy on the other side of the field that commands a lot of coverage attention as well. So you can't double everybody. So if they're going to do the stuff they're doing right now against us, then that allows him to do what he's been doing as well as Locke. Locke's, I think, still playing at a really high level. Just the ball's finding Jax a lot right now. So we got to keep executing at a really high level, and Geno can keep working through it, keep playing fast like he is, so we can keep getting these guys the ball.
What's the best thing DK Metcalf does besides catching and doing pass receiving? What does he benefit you most?
Man, I just the competitor, just the relentless competitor. Yeah, just love seeing him out there, man. Just feel good when he's out there doing his thing. But I know that if teams want to play like high-low double on him, then it's a little bit tougher to get him the ball. So we got to keep finding creative ways to make sure he comes alive. But when that doesn't happen, then I think we'll definitely film the full DK experience.
Block on Buda Baker down the field.
Yeah, that's what I'm referring to. It's just like there's so many plays like that are easy to go unnoticed. But I know this. When I don't want to see him blocking me. I don't want to be out there and him blocking me.
With Laumea, where did his growth, his arc from training camp to now? What areas of his game that he improved?
I think just confidence and like consistent, consistent performance and execution. So, as a rookie, the first time you see things or the first time you see things, so being able to be exposed to all the things you need to be able to react to and the calls and the footwork and all that type of stuff, and then just keep hammering away on the improvements. Again, it wasn't just like, it's not, with these guys, it's never going to be this, okay, now I'm ready. It's just this constant effort. Everybody on board. Huff, the coaches, all the rookies, going through all the reps, taking them, keep moving forward. There's going to be bumps in the road, but Every time this guy took a rep, he just, he was maximizing his opportunity, and that's all you can ask for.
When he was at Utah, most of it was a tackle. Did you find him a guard as soon as you scouted him? What did that do?
Yeah, I can't take credit for that. That's our scouts and our offensive staff felt like he could move inside, and Taua did too. So it was kind of everybody on board. And
I think you faced Matt LaFleur before. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but in situations when you haven't faced an OC before, how does that change your preparation?
Well, it's been a minute. I think last time was 2018 when he was in Tennessee, but completely different operation. I mean, there's some couple underlying things, but yeah, you got to do your homework. You got to go through, hit all the boxes, make sure you're as thorough as you can. I mean, we've had coaches on staff that have played the Packers in past too, so utilizing that feedback and just kind of doing everything, all hands on deck to try to generate as much information as you can.
Mike, you've talked about how you like to see competition and growth in your players. In that context, can you talk about what you see from Josh Jobe, what he's done?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could give you some sweet insight. It's just, hey, this guy shows up. He's got a good reputation. He's got a good relationship with our scouts, and especially Carl. And then, shoot, he learns what to do in a hurry, and he goes out and executes and keeps making plays. And then even our starting receivers are saying, hey, this guy's a tough cover on the look team. So you're always competing for those things and earning those opportunities.
Going back to Jordan Love.
Last question.
A lot of interceptions early on in the season, but he's cleaned it up as of late. He hasn't had a pick in the last 3 games. Have you noticed anything different with how I know he's had some injuries too, but anything else?
Yeah, we were talking about that I think he had the same thing last year, and he ended on a pretty good streak at the end of last year too. It's hard to diagnose differences, things like that. I know they're operating really efficiently right now, so they got a lot of time to kind of iron away their things in their building too, just like we are. And you're just always going to work trying to get better. So hats off to him for keep playing at a high level.
All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you.